to talk to you today about the confidence that comes into our hearts by living right. In our text today, we find Jeroboam, the guy who split the 10 tribes off from the 2 tribes and led the people into all kinds of demonic worship. He built a different temple. He removed the Levitical priesthood and installed his new priesthood of people who had worked from the Levites. So you've got self-called, self-designed worship. You've got the golden calves. I mean, this guy was bad news, all right? So he's been all during the reign of Rehoboam. And now he's still ruling in the 10 tribes when Rehoboam dies and his son, Abijah, takes over. So now we're dealing with the grandson of Solomon. And it says in 2 Chronicles 13, verse 1, Abijah began to rule over Judah in the 18th year of Jeroboam's reign in Israel. And he reigned in Jerusalem 3 years. His mother was Maacah, the daughter of Uriel from Gibeah. Then war broke out between Abijah and Jeroboam. Now look on down to verse 4. And I just want to read this through to you. When the army of Judah arrived in the hill country of Ephraim, Abijah stood on Mount Zemaraim and shouted to Jeroboam and all Israel. He shouted to the 10 tribes, listen to me. Don't you realize that the Lord, the God of Israel, has made a lasting covenant with David, giving him and his descendants the throne of Israel forever? Yet Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, a mere servant of David's son Solomon, rebelled against his master. Then a whole gang of scoundrels joined him, defying Solomon's son Rehoboam when he was young and inexperienced and could not stand up to them. Do you really think you can stand against the kingdom of the Lord that is led by the descendants of David? You may have a vast army and you have those gold calves that Jeroboam made as your gods, but you have chased away the priests of the Lord, the descendants of Aaron and the Levites, and you have appointed your own priests like the pagan nations. You let anyone become a priest these days. Whoever comes to be dedicated with a young bull and 7 rams can become a priest of these so-called gods of yours. But as for us, the Lord is our God, and we have not abandoned him. Only the descendants of Aaron serve the Lord as priests, and the Levites alone may help them in their work. They present burnt offerings and fragrant incense to the Lord every morning and evening. They place the bread of the presence on the holy table, and they light the gold lampstand every morning. We are following the instructions of the Lord our God, but you have abandoned him. You see, God is with us. He is our leader. His priests blow their trumpets and lead us into battle against you. O people of Israel, do not fight against the Lord, the God of your ancestors, for you will not succeed. Meanwhile, Jeroboam had secretly sent part of his army around behind the men of Judah to ambush them. Now remember, Jeroboam and Israel, the 10 tribes, have exactly double the number of men that Abijah has. 800,000 against 400,000. Verse 14, when Judah realized that they were being attacked from the front and the rear, they cried out to the Lord for help. Then the priests blew the trumpets and the men of Judah began to shout. And at the sound of their battle cry, God defeated Jeroboam, and all Israel was routed before Abijah and the army of Judah. And the Israelite army fled from Judah, and God handed them over to Judah in defeat. Abijah and his army inflicted heavy losses on them. 500,000 of Israel's select troops were killed that day. So Judah defeated Israel on that occasion because they trusted, because they trusted in the Lord, the God of their ancestors. Verse 20, so Jeroboam of Israel never regained his power during Abijah's lifetime. And finally, the Lord struck him down and died. Now, I want you to notice this young king, Abijah. He was just young enough that he looks up and goes, you know what? We're living for God. We're doing what's right. And God is with us, and God will help us. And you know what? Sometimes you have enemies that come against your life. You have challenges that come against your life. And yes, we believe that everything flows into our life by grace. And yes, we are victorious because we trust in the Lord just like these people. But there was a confidence that day. A confidence because we're living right. we're doing what is right in the eyes of God, God will help us. Some of you, you need that confidence. You're living right. You're doing what's right. And God is with you. And God will help you.